All right, today we're going to dive deep into the world of the Gutter Mage and really pull apart a chapter that's just packed with secrets, controlled magic, and a conspiracy that's hiding in plain sight. So, right from the get-go, the story tells us the Grand Archives don't just house knowledge, they swallow sound. Think about that. This isn't your local library, it's a fortress. And that one phrase, it sets this tone of oppressive silence and total control that is absolutely crucial for everything that's about to happen. So let's step inside this fortress, where we are immediately thrown into the mix with our key players and the two completely opposite worlds they come from. So who are we dealing with here? Well, first up is Elara, our protagonist. She's a wild mage, meaning she's got these raw, untamed senses that make her a total outsider. Then you've got Valerius, a powerful magus who is the walking, talking definition of the establishment. And finally, there's Lyra, a young scribe who is grieving, and as we'll soon find out, is right at the very heart of this whole mystery. And this right here, this is the real core of the conflict. It's not just about two different places, it's a fundamental clash of philosophies. You have the archives, which are all about institutional power, sterile, controlled, and eerily quiet. And then, on the flip side, you've got the Gutterways, all raw power, wet decay, and constant, real danger. Elara, she's the bridge between these two worlds, and that tension is what drives this whole story. So how does the investigation even kick off? Well, Elara's not just some visitor. She's been brought in to be a kind of magical bloodhound, tasked with sniffing out the ghost of a clue in this huge, silent place. Valerius's plan for Elara is actually pretty straightforward. He needs her to use those unique, raw abilities, the very ones the council usually tries to stamp out, to find the magical residue, this taint, that the killer left behind. And bam, she finds it. But listen to that description. The magic isn't just strong, it's a sickly sweet pull, like something rotten that's been covered up with perfume. That is the first real whiff of a cover-up, of a conspiracy. So Elara follows this nasty scent, and where does it lead her? Right to a heavy door leading to the restricted section. The place where they lock away all the dangerous knowledge. The killer has been near secrets that the council wants to keep buried. Okay, so now they have a lead, and Valerius immediately pivots his attention to the grieving scribe, Lyra. And this is where the tension just shoots through the roof. When he questions her, Lyra is all sharp edges and defense. She keeps insisting her brother was just a simple scribe, nothing more. But her words sound fragile. And as we're about to see, her eyes are telling a very different story. And there it is, the tell, that tiny involuntary glance. As she's denying everything, her eyes betray her, flicking over to the exact same door Elara just found. It's a confession without a single word, and it's a clue that both the Wildmage and the Magus catch in an instant. Elara knows Valerius isn't going to get the truth out of her, so she takes a massive risk. She goes right around her handler and uses her own suppressed magic to shoot Lyra a secret message. This one act of defiance is about to drag them both into something way more dangerous. All right, so now we're leaving the cold, silent archives and heading down into the dark, decaying Gutterways. And it's here, far away from the prying eyes of the council, that the story's biggest secret is about to come out. Lyra, who is absolutely terrified but now sees a flicker of hope in Elara, finally reveals what her brother Kaelin died for. It wasn't just some forbidden book. He found a lie, a record that shouldn't exist, something he called the silent page. And here it is, the bombshell. The silent page isn't just forbidden, it's heresy. It strikes right at the foundation of the council's power. It claims their magic isn't a gift, it's a cage. This changes everything. It means this wasn't just a murder, it was a political assassination. And just as we're reeling from this earth-shattering secret, Lyra puts a name to the shatters that were hunting her brother. Not the council guards, not the Magi, but a new, terrifying group she calls the Hushed Men. And that brings us to the final, heart-pounding moments of the chapter, because that secret meeting in the Gutterways, it almost immediately turns into a deadly ambush. A new voice just cuts through the darkness. It's described as smooth, cold as polished ice, and just dripping with menace. The hunter has found its prey. Now look at how quickly an incredibly creepy antagonist is built here. The appearance is unnerving, right? Light-drinking robes, a hairless face, dead eyes. But it's his magic that is truly terrifying. It's not about raw power, it's an absolute void. A profound silence that feels like a physical weight pressing in on you. And then comes the gut punch. The hushed man just casually admits that Lyra was nothing but bait. This entire meeting was a trap, designed from the start to draw out the loose thread. And right now, they think that's Elara. And just like that, boom, the action freezes. The hushed man lifts his rod, and his void-like magic literally solidifies the air around them, paralyzing Elara and Lyra. They are completely, utterly helpless before their executioner. And that's where the chapter just leaves you hanging. It ends with this burning question. They're trapped by a power that feels absolute, a silence that seems to snuff out all other magic. The only question left is, how in the world could anyone possibly escape?